Shweta Shah. I am your instructor for the subject Computer Organization and Architecture. In this subject, we have started Unit 6, that is Pipelining and Vector Processing. In this unit, we are going to see today the topic that is memory interleaving and array processor. So let me start with the first topic, that is memory interleaving. Pipeline and vector processors often require simultaneous access to the memory from two or more sources. An instruction pipeline may require the fetching of the instruction and an operand at the same time from two different segments. Similarly, in an arithmetic pipeline usually requires two or more operands to enter the pipeline at the same time. Instead of using two memory buses for simultaneous access, the memory can be partitioned into a number of modules and connected to a common memory address and data buses. A memory module is a memory array together with its own address and a data registers. The next figure shows the memory unit with the 4 modules. Here we have 4 different memory modules that are represented as a memory array, and each are having its own address register and data register. Address register to store the address and data register to store the data, and these are all connected with a common data bus and address. Here the two least significant bits of the address can be used to distinguish between the 4 modules. That means two least significant bits 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 or 1, 1 for each and every module. Okay, so by this way you can bifurcate your modules. The advantage of the modular memory is that it allows the use of a technique known as an interleaving. An interleaved memory, the different sets of address are assigned to a different memory modules. For example, in a 2-module memory system, the even address may be in a one module and the odd address in a other module. When the number of modules is a power of 2, the least significant bits of the address select a memory module and the remaining bits designated the specific location in the accessed within the selected module. A module memory is useful in a system with a pipelining and vector processing. A vector processor that uses an n-way interleaved memory can fetch the n operand from the n different modules. So you can parallelly access to the n modules. Next we will see the array processor. An array processor is a processor that performs the computation on the large arrays of data. The term is used to refer to the two different types of processor. First one is attached array processor. In this attached array processor, it is the auxiliary processor that is attached to a general purpose computer. It is intended to improve the performance of the host computer in a specific numeric computational task. Second one is a SIMD array processor. It is a processor that has a single instruction multiple data organization. It manipulates the vector instructions by means of multiple functional units responding to the common instruction. Although both of this type of array processors manipulate vectors, their internal organization is different. So let me first see attached array processor. An attached array processor is designed as a peripheral for the conventional host computer, and its purpose is to enhance the performance of the computer by providing vector processing for the complex scientific applications. It achieving performance by means of a parallel processing with the multiple functional units. It includes an arithmetic unit containing one or more pipeline floating point adder and the multiplier. The array processor can be programmed by the user to accommodate a variety of the complex arithmetic problems. Here this figure shows the interconnection of the array processor to the host computer. Here we are having general purpose computer, and this array processor, it is also having its own local memory, and general purpose computer has its main memory. This both the memory, main memory and local memories are also connected to provide high access to the data, and this processor is connected with the general purpose computer by means of some input output connections. So we can consider as a array processor are connected with some general purpose computer by means of some input output controller to the main computer. Okay, so it is like some external interface kind of thing. The data for the attached processor are transferred from the main memory to the local memory through the high speed buses. So, the general purpose computer without the array processor serves the user that needs a conventional data processing, and the system with the attached processor satisfies the need for the complex arithmetic applications. Okay, so by this way we can use the array processor. Second type is SIMD array processor, that is single instruction multiple data stream array processor. An SIMD processor is a computer with a multiple processing unit operating in parallel. The processing units are synchronized to perform the same operation under the control of the common control unit, thus providing the single instruction stream and multiple data stream organization. A general block diagram of the array processor is shown over here. It has your main general purpose unit, then main memory, and that is connected with its PE block with its own memory M1, M2, M3 and so on. Here it consists of a set of identical processing elements that is known as a PE, each having the local memory M. Each processor element includes the ALU, floating point arithmetic unit, and working register. All of these are provided into this PE blocks, and M represents your memory. And here you have connected all of these things with your main unit or main CPU and main memory. The master control unit controls the operation in the processor elements, and the main memory is used to store of the program. The function of the master control unit is to decode the instruction and determine how its instruction to be executed. The scalar programs control instructions are directly executed within the master control unit, and vector instructions are broadcast to all PEs simultaneously. Each PE uses the operand stored in its own local memory. Vector operands are distributed to the local memory prior to the parallel execution of the instruction. Consider the example of vector addition C is equals to A plus B. The master control unit first store the ith component AI and BI of A and B in the local memory M for I is equals to 1 to N. It then broadcasts the floating point instruction CI is equals to AI plus BI to all PE, causing the addition to take place simultaneously. The components of CIs are stored in the fixed location in each local memory that produce the desired vector sum in the one add cycle. So in one add cycle, all of this addition are going to be completed and stored into its own internal memory, or you can say into its local memory. Second thing, here we can also use the masking scheme. The masking schemes are used to control the status of each PE during the execution of vector instruction. Each PE has a flag that's set when the PE is active and reset when PE is inactive. Okay, this ensures that only those PEs or processing execution unit that needed to be participants are active during the execution of the instruction. For example, suppose that the array processor contains the set of 64 PEs. If a vector length of less than 64 data items is to be processed, the control unit selects the proper number of PEs to be active, and vector greater than the length of 64 must be divided into 64 word partition by the controller, so that you can perform this operation by using your PEs. So we are ending our today's session over here. If you have any query, then you can contact me.